Merry Christmas. Welcome to SNG. What's up, Zeus? So, if you've already subscribed, it's appreciated. If you haven't, consider it. I'm going to do a quick video on setting points and timing on a dual circuit, dual point Harley Davidson. They came out with the dual points. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe 60 maybe, 60, 61, 62, and 63, they had dual points. Some people loved them, others cuss dual points. This happened to have the original dual points on it. It's a 61 panhead, and I decided to keep them. So I'm going to go over, I have a video that goes over in detail how to do this. It's a 3-part video. It's in the playlist. It is, I don't know, maybe altogether could be 2 hours long. I'm going to try to do this in like Jimmy John fast. So if you want detail, go to that video. If you just are a quick hitter and you're a smart dude and you already wrench and you just want to get a 10,000 foot view of what to do, this is going to be the video to watch. So let's go over here. So here's what you want to do is jack your bike up, put it on the table, jack the rear wheel off the ground, take your 2 spark plugs out, go ahead and put it in 5th gear. Go ahead and your front cylinder, take your keeper clips for your push rod tubes off, raise your push rods off, got some rubber bands and some paper clips holding them up, pop your timer cover, and let's set the points gap first. And I will throw a light on real quick and pop this thing off the stand for a second. And go from here. You're going to want to set the gaps up at 22 thousandths. The front points are here. The rear points are here. Okay, you can see there's an F up here for the front points. What you will do is you will take this, and I'll try to get it. You'll take your timer. You see where the mark is here. You're going to run that mark past. You see the little wafer right there that's kind of orange? Run it past. Once you get past this, it's open for a period of time. So bottom line is, open these points as far as they will open, and once you find the whitest part, 0.22 thousandths, 22 thousandths. You will do that. Then you will run the cam around to point that timer or that mark on that little orange wafer disc. Make sure these are opened all the way. Past that, this will go clockwise. When you're moving your wheel clockwise, bring that around a little bit past that mark. Because it stays open for a period of time, you'll know it's opened all the way. Set it up for 22 thousandths. That's how you set your timing up. This is, you loosen here. This is your adjustment screw. Once you adjust it, tighten that back up, check your gap again. Some of the times you'll want to be a little bit heavy on your gap. That way when you tighten this, it typically closes down a little bit, and you won't have to do it so many times. Once those 2 are set at 22 thousandths, come to here, move your back wheel in the direction that you would be riding, and wait until you see the push rod on the left, which is your intake, open up and close. Once it closes, you're on your compression stroke. Once this completely closes, you can go to the opposite side of the bike. Go to the opposite side of the bike, Both of my spark plugs are out. I happen to have a tool that's a top dead center tool. I'll explain that in a second. But you can start to take your back wheel and move it like you're running, like you're riding, and you will feel pressure coming out of the top spark plug. That's how you'll know you're on your compression stroke. Okay, if you have a manual, and if the manual tells you where you want to be in this hole, when you look at your flywheel, there'll be a mark in there. So you want to go to wherever they say to put that mark. Some of the marks are in the center, some of the marks are just in the beginning of the window. I didn't know on this particular one. That's why I bought this dead top center tool. So what I did is when I knew I was on my compression stroke, I bumped my wheel until this tube came out as far as it would come out. I know my piston's at the top of its travel. And once I found the top of the travel, I took a pencil, I marked it, then I went ahead and looked at my mark. I looked at my manual. I set this up at 437.5 thousandths. That's 7/16 of an inch. And once I had my 7/16 set up, I measured from the mark that I made up, and I know that I need to basically go backwards, make my wheel go backwards until I drop down to that mark the second mark, the 7/16 of an inch that I came up from my first mark, 7/16 of an inch up. Then what I did was, check this out, I went backwards and I lowered it to the mark that I wanted to be here. And then I went past it. Now I'm coming back around the same direction as I ride. And I go to right where my mark was at. And I stopped. So now all I did was find out that I am 7/16 of an inch, my piston 7/16 of an inch lower than it was when it was as high as it could go. That's where I want to set my spark up to happen on this bike. Then when I look in my window, I see that line is right in the middle of not in the middle, right entering the window. It's just, you can see that long line. Okay, that's where the manual said it can be. So this was just nothing more than a double check. Once I got to where that's where I want my spark, I went ahead and put on my front coil. Underneath, you have a nut here, and you have a nut to the left, nut to the right. Go to the right. There happens to be a yellow wire here. Don't know if you can see it, but I'll try to. Anyhow, I am on the right side nut. Here's the back coil. Left, there's a left nut here, right nut here. We want to be on the right side of each one of these. I have my 12 volt, this is a 6 volt system, but I have a little light here. I have my alligator clip on the right nut. I have this, disregard the battery charging terminals. It is not hooked up. Make sure that you don't have anything hooked up. That is not hooked up. I am using this as a stand because you can see the copper down in here. I'm touching that to the copper, and then I'm laying this up against so it doesn't short. And if you look, I don't know if you can see, but you're going to have to take my word for it. I think you can see that right there. That light is glowing right now. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want this, okay, I'm going to go ahead and All the way back is advanced, all the way forward is retarded. I'm going to go all the way forward. Do not forget to hit this switch one click, because if you don't, that light is never going to go out and it's going to send you on a wild goose chase. Turn this one click. Okay, and then I am going to go all the way to advanced. And I'm going to look, and my light is out now. Now I'm going to just move this a little bit. So the key is I want my light to go out right when I hit as far as it can go this way advanced. So my light is on. You can see it. That light is on. I'm going to go all the way. Just turned off. Back on. Just turned off. It is turning off right when I get as far this way as I can. It was not doing that when I started. It was staying on. So I came to this side. This is how you adjust it. See that nut right here? Loosen that nut up. I knew that I had to spin this whole timer or circuit breaker, whatever you want to call it, counterclockwise a little bit to get where I needed to go. I loosened that nut. I took a screwdriver and put it right here in that hole because it's hard for me to grab on and make that move. Put it in that hole a little bit, and I took a very small little mallet. Okay, here's my hand, just a little, and I tapped it at the end of the screwdriver until my light went out, and I retightened it. Once I was retightened, I came back over. I got it to where the light turned off. I don't know if you can see the light going off. On, off, right when it was back. I'm timed on my front cylinder. Now what I did was the exact same thing on my rear cylinder. I moved top dead center tool over here. I found the top dead center. I went backwards until I lowered my piston 7/16 of an inch before top dead center, all the way up. There happened to be in here a little circle. The manual did not tell me about that circle, but I knew I was on my compression stroke, number one, because I could feel air coming out of here, and you could take your tubes off, actually push rod tubes, and you could check to make sure that when your inlet valve lowers, you know that you're on your compression stroke. And I went ahead and switched this lead from the right side nut of this coil to the right side nut of this coil. Did the same thing here and went ahead and wanted my light to go out when I went back to advanced. If it does not go out when you want it to, and you have to adjust it with the dual point circuit now that you have your front point set, you adjust the back here by adjusting the point gap. So you might have to increase or decrease the point gap using unloosen here, put it wherever you need to go, and once you get that to happen, now, yes, is this back rear cylinder set at 22 thousandths anymore? No, it's not, but it's set at the right spot. So, that's a record. If you want to know more detail, if you want to waste 2 hours of your life getting into the detail and how to make sure it's clocked right and all of the other stuff that I did not talk about here, go ahead and go back to that video. Go to the playlist. I think I've got 61 FL Panhead. There's 101 videos on how to set that up. I went through that bike when I bought it. I went through everything, and mechanically, for the most part, I'm not going to say everything because I didn't pull cylinders. We had compression, but I went through a lot. So check some of those videos out. That may help somebody or help you, and enjoy your Christmas. Happy New Year. Get a chance, punch that monkey in the throat, pat that poodle bug, stomp on that bell, do whatever you need to do, and if you ride them, wrench them, but only if you want to. Later.